2 weeks passed. It was already 2 weeks since Jungkook sent his guards in the search of a boy called V with a detailed description about the beauty of the boy. But still, he had got no clue regarding the existence of the boy, which made him kind of frustrated. Of course, he knew he needed to be more patient when it comes to finding V, but his heart was in a rush and was impatient to find V. Jungkook was in his chamber, which was located in the left side of the palace, daydreaming about the boy whom he had lost his heart to, when a guard entered to deliver a message. "JK, what's it?" he said, still lying on his huge bed, which was placed in the middle of the chamber. "Guard, Prince Jungkook, King wants to meet you." "JK, okay, I'll come," he said as he got up after signing to go to meet the king. Jungkook entered King's chamber as his eyes landed on Taehyung, who was already present in the room in front of King, as he bowed to the king. "JK, yes father." "King, Jungkook, I have something to inform you," King uttered as he shifted his gaze from JK to Taehyung. "JK, yes father, what's it?" Jungkook asked curiously as he side glances at Taehyung, who was silent. "King, I know you two used to hate each other in your childhood, but I hope with the time both of you must have got rid of it by now." Both Taekook stayed silent, so I decided to make Taehyung your appointee. Appointee is the Crown Prince's companion or the Crown Prince's aide appointed by the king for the Crown Prince, entrusting him to serve as the closest associate and the supportive of the Crown Prince. "JK, no father, you can't." Jungkook's voice echoed in the chamber. "I have Sugayong and Hosekyong as my companions already." "King, it's my final decision, Jungkook. Taehyung will be your official companion from today onwards," King said as Jungkook got visibly angry. He grinded his teeth as he decided to take his leave. "JK, I would like to take my leave, father," he said as he left the chamber, not forgetting to shoot a glare at Taehyung, who was still silent with annoyance. "Tae, it's fine, your majesty. I do believe I'm not the one who is perfect for this position." "King, my child, you know Jungkook is someone who is not easy to handle. Besides, he needs to control his anger and need to be patient as the crown prince. And that's why I choose you, Taehyung, 'cause I believe you can change him," he said with hopeful eyes. "Tae, I will do my best, your majesty." All Taehyung could do was to accept King's request. "King, I trust you, son," King said as Taehyung passed an assuring smile to King as he also took his leave. In the evening, Jungkook was practicing sword fighting with guards when Taehyung arrived. Jungkook was topless, revealing his built, well-built body, being super hot and handsome. Taehyung gulped after seeing JK's body soaked with sweat. Jungkook noticed Taehyung's presence as he stopped practicing, turning to Taehyung's side with a smirk. "JK, I can't believe my father pointed a wisp of a boy to serve me," he said with a disappointed voice intentionally. "Tae, I hope we can be friends in the future, your highness. I look forward to serve you." "JK, friends, huh? Plus you serve me. You barely hold a sword. And this is not King's best decision." He let out a sarcastic laugh, which made Taehyung quite angry and embarrassed in front of the guards. But nevertheless, he remained his posture as he came closer to Jungkook. "Tae, perhaps the king might have seen the potential where you see none. Or perhaps he thought you needed someone to keep your arrogance in check." Taehyung smirked as Jungkook's eyes got darkened at Taehyung's words, which hurted his pride. "JK, so why don't you prove me, huh?" He let out a low chuckle with a menacing look as he threw a sword at Taehyung, which Taehyung picked. Taehyung also smirked as he picked the sword, as both of them started to fight mercilessly. Jungkook was being too harsh while Taehyung tried his best to match his strength with Jungkook. Of course, it was indeed hard for Taehyung to match with JK's strength as he was not bulky as Jungkook was. But still, he managed to attack Jungkook with an equal force due to his techniques, which he had mastered. Taehyung was truly amazed how skillful Jungkook was, because during their fight at the pond, Jungkook only dodged his attacks. But today he saw how powerful Jungkook was when it comes to the battlefield, as he knew he won't be able to survive against Jungkook's attacks for so long. More than 30 minutes passed, but still Taekook were fighting, while guards were watching their fight with amusement, as they wasn't expecting Taehyung to be that powerful, especially against Jungkook. JK, wow, I didn't know you were this good, Jungkook said with a smirk, which wasn't leaving his face from the moment they started to fight. Tae, so you accept that I'm good? JK, just a little bit more than I expected, he said with a teasing expression making Taehyung kind of mad. Tae, oh really? That's why you shouldn't underestimate your enemy, Tae replied back. JK, I see, he said as he finally pointed at Tae's neck with a smile of victory, making eye contact with Taehyung. But the moment his eyes got stuck with Taehyung, he was taken back for a minute. JK in mind, dark blue eyes. He felt Taehyung's eyes oddly familiar, but he was too dumb due to his hate towards Taehyung that he didn't notice the similarity between Taehyung's and V's eyes. But still, the attractiveness of Taehyung's eyes worked same as the previous time, making Jungkook freeze for a moment. Having dark blue eyes, same as my V, doesn't make him beautiful like my V. You ugly face Taehyung, he thought to himself. Taehyung also felt scared, but if Jungkook understood he is V when they made eye contact, but like he guessed, Jungkook was being the most dumbest, couldn't accept the fact that it's V, even though he noticed the similarity between Tae's and V's eyes. Taehyung saw Jungkook's unstable state as he dodged, making Jungkook's sword move away from his neck, freeing himself, making Jungkook come back to earth. Taehyung glared at Jungkook before leaving as Jungkook smirked looking at Taehyung's fading figure. JK in mind, well, I can see you are not that weak boy anymore, huh? But guess what, I'm sure this is going to be more fun than before. He chuckled as he also left. From that day onwards, irrespective of Jungkook's likeness or dislikeness, Taehyung had to accompany him in each and every situation. It would be a lie if I say Jungkook didn't enjoy Taehyung's company, because in each and every possible moment he used to irritate Taehyung to the core. Plus with the time he understood he can't win against Taehyung when it comes to arguments, because no matter whatever the topic was, Taehyung was able to make JK speechless. Plus Taehyung always meddled into JK's work whenever he used to act aggressive, which kinda irritated Jungkook. But still he had to listen to Taehyung as Taehyung had a point in each such instance, which made King proud about his decisions, which kept Jungkook under control, even though he didn't like Taehyung meddling into his businesses. At first, Jungkook used to behave more aggressive in such instances, but with time, he understood it was pointless as Taehyung was right, so he kinda started to accept the truth behalf of his ego, which surprised everyone including King and Taehyung. Plus, other than this, Jungkook also got to know Taehyung's weakness. The only way to make Taehyung silent, that was making Taehyung shy or embarrassed. But that also worked only when they were alone. But still, Jungkook being Jungkook never missed a chance to utilize Taehyung's weakness for his benefit. Taehyung made sure Jungkook won't have any suspicions that he is weak, except the fact that he couldn't hide his eyes from Jungkook. But still, Taehyung's plan worked very well because except the similarity between eyes, Taehyung's behavior was fully different when he was in the castle, because when Jungkook met Taehyung as V, he was being as Taehyung whom he used to be when he was in the royal school, the free soul who got loved by almost everyone. But in Crystal Kingdom, due to his bitter past, he couldn't be himself in the Crystal Kingdom as he didn't want to get judged once again after all these years. And his dressing style was completely different, which further made Jungkook not to have any doubt about him being weak. Timescape, Jungkook, Taehyung and Mingyu went on a mission to find out about some illegal activities which were happening in the kingdom. Dressed as normal people, during the day they went from one place to another to collect information in separate ways alone. As they got together at night to spend the night, they found a small house where they could only sleep. At the very end of the village, they made a bonfire as Taehyung cooked some meat for all three of them. Taehyung was peacefully inside watching the meat get cooked with fire as Jungkook and Mingyu sat on the other side of the bonfire with some soju bottles while talking with each other. Mingyu, Young, JK, Mingyu, we still couldn't find any information about your beauty. I can't believe where this mysterious boy kept himself hidden because we literally searched almost all the kingdoms, he said as he averted his gaze to Jungkook in disbelief, not getting any reply from him, just to find Jungkook being lost in somewhere else, not listening to him. Mingyu, Young, Jungkook Young. Mingyu looked at the side where Jungkook was staring just to find Taehyung. He noticed how softly Jungkook was staring at Taehyung as he called Jungkook multiple times to grab his attention. JK, huh? Jungkook came back to reality as he looked at Mingyu. What were you saying? He asked, making Mingyu look at him with disbelief. Mingyu, what? Don't tell me you were staring at Taehyung all this time while I was talking about your so-called V, he said, making JK feel embarrassed after getting caught staring at Taehyung. Jungkook signed. Mingyu, are you even interested in finding your beauty still? Because nowadays you barely talk about him. Plus, you didn't even ask about any update about him even. He looked at Jungkook with a sharp gaze. Oh, are you falling in love with someone else? He asked curiously as he again looked at Taehyung and then to Jungkook, indirectly asking whether that someone is Taehyung. JK, no, there's nothing like that. Mingyu, are you sure? Because I smell something fishy with your latest behavior. JK, are you serious, Mingyu? He asked with a questionable face. Mingyu, yes, I'm so damn serious, Hyung. JK, Aish Mingyu, there's nothing like that. Believe me, plus I haven't even seen his face since he returned. So how am I supposed to fall for him, Ghosh? Mingyu, then why do you like Taehyung's presence and company now, huh? Because you used to hate him so much. JK, there's nothing changed between us, Mingyu. It's just you are hallucinating. Mingyu, oh really? But your eyes tell otherwise. You know what? Sometimes we don't have to see the person's face to feel their personality or to fall in love with them, he said, making Jungkook speechless for a second. Believe me, Young, within this time period of 1 year, I learned so much things about Taehyung Young. He is such a sweet, nice and a caring person, except about his sassy attitude, he said with a laugh, and it honestly made me feel guilty about how I used to treat him in the past. And I'm so sure his face must be so beautiful and sweet, same as his personality too, he said as he signed. JK in mind, yeah, I know. I'm also sure he must be beautiful because he was never used to be ugly, not even in childhood. He thought to himself, accepting the fact that Taehyung was never ugly in their childhood, even though he used to bully Taehyung, calling him ugly due to his hate. Taehyung honestly felt confused because his mind was asking him to search for V while his heart was not allowing him to do so, at least not anymore. But still, he couldn't understand why, because since the moment he met Taehyung again to till now, within this 1 year of period, he had been able to successfully change the old Jungkook to someone new. Mingyu was about to say something, but immediately silenced himself, seeing Taehyung approaching him because Jungkook had put a rule for him to not to utter any word about V in front of Taehyung, which kinda confused him as well as Jungkook himself, because Jungkook himself didn't know why he don't want Taehyung to get to know about the boy Jungkook had been searching for all this time. But still Taehyung knew everything which Jungkook did as he wasn't ready to get revealed as V in front of Jungkook, because Taehyung had promised himself that he wouldn't let Jungkook's lust to win against him, because he knew Jungkook would do anything to make it up to him to have him if he got to know that he is V. So he decided if he couldn't make Jungkook fall for himself as Taehyung, he wouldn't let Jungkook to have him even if he had to marry someone else, no matter how much he loved Jungkook. Because Taehyung didn't wanted to get humiliated himself in front of the people, forgiving Jungkook after all how he treated him, and he was determined to make Jungkook beg for his love in front of him. But life had different plans for them. Taehyung brought meat as all three of them ate it and had friendly moments while drinking soju while laughing with each other. Taehyung's laugh sounds like a melody to Jungkook's ear, which made him badly want to see Taehyung's laugh. He wanted to remove Taehyung's veil to see how beautiful he looked while laughing. But unfortunately, he didn't have that much of courage. Midnight arrived as all three of them got drunk. Mingyu left to his room as he felt really exhausted, while Taehyung kept giggling non-stop talking with Jungkook, while Jungkook was shamelessly adoring Taehyung. Jungkook still couldn't believe what made him fall for Taehyung. Was it his eyes? Was it his cute behavior and personality? Or what? Or was it his attitude? Jungkook was questioning himself. Some more time passed as they decided to go to sleep. Jungkook was fully drunk while Taeyang was also drunk, but still he had control and sense of what he was doing, unlike Jungkook who was fully wasted. Taeyang helped Jungkook to stand up as Jungkook wrapped his veiny arm around Taeyang's slim waist, which was covered with his baggy clothes. Taeyang felt like current passed through his body when JK's hand got wrapped around his waist. Plus, JK's head was literally on his shoulder, making JK's breath hit on his neck. JK, your waist is so thin, Taeyanga, he said as he squeezed his waist, making Taeyang's eyes get close with the feeling. Tay in mind, he is drunk, Taeyang, not a bit, but totally wasted. So don't get caught in his words, Tay. He don't love you, nor he care about you, he said to himself. JK, you smell so good too, he whispered against Taeyang, making him blush too hard. Tay, Jungkook, you're not in your right mind. JK, right mind or wrong mind, I can't get over my feelings for you, he said as he inhaled Tae's scent, making Taeyang freeze, but still decided to ignore as he knew Jungkook was drunk. Taeyang brought JK to his room, which was completely dark as he didn't have any light, barely finding the path to the bed with the help of the moonlight which was falling through the window. Taeyang placed Jungkook on the bed and was about to stand up when JK pulled him onto his body. Tae, Jungkook, leave me, he said as he tried to free himself from JK's grip. JK, no, I won't, he said as he brought Tae's face close to him, holding him by his chin, even though he couldn't see anything due to the darkness. JK, show me your face, Tae. I'm dying to see your face, he said as he pressed Taeyang against his body, making him sweat, feeling JK's abs and muscles against him. JK, please stay. Tae, no Jungkook, I can't. This is not the right time, he said as he was about to stand up again. JK, no, I won't let you, he said as he pulled Taeyang's veil away from Taeyang onto Taeyang so hard. Taeyang thanked God for the fact that the room was dark as Jungkook won't be able to see his face even though he removed the veil from him. Both Tae and Cook were lost in the moment, feeling the pleasure. Jungkook was on cloud 9 even before things started to get serious. Jungkook was about to when Taeyang's mind alerted him, making him immediately come back to the earth as he pushed Jungkook away from himself, standing up. Jungkook whined at the loss of contact as he drifted to sleep in the same posture. He fell onto the bed. Taeyang couldn't find his veil as he decided to leave his room, leaving his veil on JK's room as he had always brought extra veil with him. Morning arrived as Jungkook woke up, massaging his own head as he looked around the room. He couldn't remember how he managed to enter the room as his eyes fell on the veil, which was on the bed, which made him confused and shocked. JK, how did this veil ended up in my bed? He thought in confusion as he tried to remember about the last night. That's when he started to get flashbacks from the last night, making his body numb. Jungkook couldn't believe himself. JK, did I saw his face? He got curious as he tried to remember further, but kind of felt disappointed when he remembered the fact that they did that in the darkness. JK, oh god, does Taeyang remember about the last night? He panicked as he picked up Tae's veil as he rushed outside to meet Taeyang just to find Mingyu standing outside. JK, where's Taeyang? Mingyu, Taeyang Young? Oh, Taehyung, he went to the castle early in the morning, saying he has something important to do. He said, being unbothered, as loads of questions start to fill in JK's mind, making him kind of scared, because he didn't know how Taehyung would react when he met him, especially after what happened between them last night. But somehow Jungkook felt so happy as he remembered their moment. A smile appeared on his face. He remembered how perfect Taehyung's facial features were when his hands traveled on Tae's face. JK, Tae, I can feel you are beautiful, Tae, but what is stopping you from showing your face to me? What's it, Tae? Is this my punishment for calling you ugly when we were young? Is this why you don't allow me to see you? No matter how much I die from inside just to have a glimpse of yours, he thought to himself as he also got ready to leave. During the whole day, Jungkook wasn't able to meet Taehyung, which indeed disturbs his inner peace. Evening arrived as messenger came to Jungkook's chamber with the message asking him to join the meeting of the king with the royal family. Jungkook hummed as he left to the place with excitement as he could finally get to meet Taehyung, at least in there, without knowing a catastrophe was waiting there for him. The royal family was already seated when Jungkook arrived. As he sat beside his father, he could see Taehyung in the opposite corner with the others looking down. King, so today I wanted all of your attention, all your presence in here to announce about something important. Everyone, including Jungkook, looked at the king with the curiosity. That is, my dearest son Kim Taehyung is going to get married soon. Everyone wowed at the announcement except Jungkook, who stayed frozen on the spot, eyes fixed on Taehyung's figure, being unable to process what he just heard. And that is, with the Star Heaven Kingdom Crown Prince Park Bogum. So, congratulations, my son, he completed as he applauded, making everyone applaud with him. Jungkook's eyes were turning red with anger and extreme jealousy as he digged his fingers on the chair, frigging his fingers onto the handle of the chair, almost hurting his fingers due to the pressure he was exerting. He felt like his body was burning. The thought of Taehyung leaving him made him feel sick. Everyone started to party, including the king, when JK saw how Taehyung silently left the room. Jungkook stood up as he dashed out of the room following Taehyung, which didn't went unnoticed by the king. Jungkook rushed out, passing Taehyung, grabbing Tae's hand without sparing a single glance at Taehyung, as Taehyung started to struggle to remove his hand from JK's grip. Tae, your highness, what are you doing? Leave me please. Taehyung kept struggling until Jungkook dragged him into his room, throwing Taehyung to the bed, making him fall onto the bed. Jungkook was looking like a devil who lost his control as he approached Taehyung, making Taehyung scared of JK for the very first time. JK, how dare you to even think of getting married to another man, Taehyung? He shouted as he pinned Taehyung onto the bed. Tae, leave me, Prince Jungkook, leave me. You are hurting me. JK, answer me, Taehyung. I asked you a damn question, he demanded as his grip on Taehyung's hand got tighter. Tae, why do you care, Jungkook? Why do you even care if I get married to another man? Huh? He burst out after trying so hard to control himself. JK, I care about you, Taehyung. I care about you because you are mine, he shouted, making Taehyung shocked as anger rushed into himself. Tae, really? Didn't you used to hate me before? Taehyung knew he was clearly testing JK's patience level. JK, Taehyung, don't you try to test my patience. You really know I don't hate you anymore. So tell me, is this because what happened between us last night? I need answers, Tae. Tae, it has nothing to do with whatever happened between us last night, Jungkook, because it's been 1 month since King fixed my marriage with him. So please leave me alone because I'm going to get married. Taehyung said harshly as he stood up, pushing Jungkook away, being about to leave JK's chamber. But that's when Jungkook backed at Taehyung. JK, please stay, don't leave me. I know you won't believe me, but I love you, Taehyung. I can't live without you. You must be wondering how I felt for you even without seeing your face. But believe me, Tae, I myself don't know how all these things happened. And when did I feel for you? Maybe this is the punishment of God for me for treating you bad and calling you ugly when you were not. He started to cry back, hugging Taehyung, making Taehyung's heart melt as tears started to brim in his eyes and also in Taehyung's eyes as Taehyung turned to face Jungkook. Jungkook was looking so vulnerable, literally crying like a kid with tears filled in his eyes. A smile appeared on Taehyung's lips as he looked at Jungkook. Tae, then what about V? Don't you love him? He asked, making JK caught off guard as he wasn't expecting Taehyung to know about V. JK, I don't look for him anymore because I only love you, JK said as Taehyung smiled. They really? So it won't matter if he appears now, right? He said, making JK confused. JK, what's the meaning of that, Tae? You are confusing me, he asked with confusion. That's when Taeyang went closer to JK as he unwrapped his veil, making JK freeze on the spot. JK, we? He shuddered. You were we? He repeated, being unable to digest the truth. I can't believe this. How is this possible? How did I even not notice that it's you? He asked, making his eyes wide in amusement, being shocked as Taeyang laughed at his reaction. Jungkook went closer to Taeyang as he took the veil from Tae's hand, as he placed the veil onto Taeyang's face and then removed it again like he was assuring himself that is real Taeyang. Tae, are you... Tae couldn't complete his words when JK, Taeyang, as they both shared. They kept embracing each other's arms as Jungkook made Tae face him. Tae, JK, let's go Tae, let's go and tell Dad to cancel your marriage, he said as he turned to go to meet King, grabbing Tae's hand. But right after JK turned, he halted on the spot, making Taeyang look at the front, just to see King standing in front of them, making both of them speechless. JK, father? Tae, your majesty? King, what? I only saw the last part, he said, making Taekook feel so embarrassed. King, no need to worry about Crown Prince Bogum. I'll handle him, he said as he left the chamber, not forgetting to spare a smirk to Jungkook and Taeyang. At night, Taeyang laid down on his bed as he let out a big sigh, thinking about how fast everything happened. He was about to close his eyes when someone jumped onto the bed, making Taeyang almost scream. Tae, Jungkook, what the hell are you doing? You scared out of me. He started to shout at Jungkook, touching his heart, which almost bumped out after getting scared. JK, did my princess got scared? He asked with a teasing expression. They scared? I almost got a heart attack, he said with a big ass pout. JK, oh, how sweet. Finally, I can see your naughty lips when you scold me, he said, resting his head on his hand as he stared at Taeyang's face, adoring him, making Taeyang blush. I still feel like I'm in a dream. Taeyang bent down as he immediately bit JK's cheek, little bit harsh. JK, ow, he let out a low shout. They, see, you're not dreaming, he said, making JK chuckle. JK, yeah, I'm not. They both laughed as Jungkook pulled Taeyang closer, placing Tae's head on his chest, wrapping his arms around Tae, protectively hugging him in his arms as he Taeyang's forehead. JK, thank you for coming into my life. And thank you for accepting me and trusting me, Taeyang. Tae in mind. Thank you for loving me instead of loving my beauty Jungkook, he thought as they both drifted to sleep.